Today I will tune the carburetor on my 50cc Chinese scooter. This one has the QMB139 4-stroke engine. First, you must know how a carburetor works. Intake air passes through a tube, and fuel is sucked up through another tube called the jet. If the jet is the right size, you get a good air-to-fuel mixture and the engine runs. The spark plug will be a light tan or beige color. If the jet is too big, you'll get too much gas, the engine won't run well, and you'll have a black spark plug. If the jet is too small, you don't get enough fuel, and the spark plug tip turns white. A real carburetor works in the same way, but has three main parts. When the throttle is closed, the idle circuit controls the mixture. Just above idle, the pilot jet takes over, and from quarter throttle till full throttle, the main jet controls your air-to-fuel mixture. The idle has two adjustments on the outside of the carburetor. The idle speed screw controls the idle air, and the idle mixture screw controls the idle fuel. To adjust fuel just above idle, you have to replace the pilot jet. A bigger jet lets more gas in. Most 50cc scooters come stock with a size 32 slow jet. The main jet controls fuel from quarter throttle to full throttle, therefore it is the most important one for tuning. Stock size is 75. Go up in size if your engine can move more air. For example, a bigger intake, exhaust, or a bigger piston will move more air. Go down in size if you're at high elevation. Think of carburetor tuning in terms of solving a problem. First, where is the problem? If your scooter isn't idling, go for the idle screws. If it's just above idle, maybe your slow jet is wrong. 25 to 100% throttle is most likely a main jet problem. Second, you must determine what is the problem. This can be tricky because the symptoms can be similar. Too much or too little gas will both make the engine lose power. Not enough gas will give you a white spark plug and the engine will run better on hot days and after the engine is warmed up. It may also idle better for the first 2 minutes because the idle enricher adds gas. Too much gas gives you a black spark plug and you can usually smell gas in the exhaust. The engine will run better when it's cold because less of the fuel evaporates and temporarily brings the ratio closer to the desired 14.7 to 1. Okay, let's check out my scooter. It starts right up and idles really well. When I twist the throttle, it revs up for just a second, but then the engine dies. So my problem is located from 25 to 100% throttle. The exhaust also smells like gas. I'm using a 16mm socket to remove the spark plug, and here it is. The tip is black. All my symptoms point to the engine running too rich. In fact, the air-to-fuel mixture is so far off that the engine won't even run. To work on the carburetor, you'll need Phillips and flathead screwdrivers, a 10mm socket, and 12mm wrench. Let's pull that carburetor out. Loosen up the intake with a flathead screwdriver, the throttle takes a 12mm wrench, and the intake manifold takes a 10mm socket. Pull off the fuel hose and vacuum hose, and don't forget to unplug the idle enricher. Drain the float bowl gas into the gas tank. Take out 3 screws on the bottom of the carburetor and pull off the float bowl. Use a flathead screwdriver to remove the main jet and pilot jet. My carburetor had a size 30 pilot jet and a size 92 main jet in it. Let's compare that to the chart. The pilot jet is just smaller than stock, but it seems to work fine. The main jet, however, is way off. I have a stock scooter. I should have a size 75 main jet. I'll need to pick up a main jet kit. Head over to Parts for Scooters and start by selecting the QMB139 50cc carburetor. Under Related Products, you'll find the CVK main jet kit, and here it is, sizes 72 through 100. I'm installing the size 30 pilot jet back into the carburetor and changing the main jet to a 75. Reinstall the float bowl and 3 screws, then the carburetor goes back in the scooter. Hoses first, then attach it to the airbox and bolt on the intake manifold. Make sure the throttle opens all the way when you twist the throttle grip, and don't forget to plug in the idle enricher. This time when I go to full throttle, the engine doesn't die, but still doesn't rev up like it should. The exhaust still smells like gas. It's definitely better than before, but it looks like the mixture is still way too rich. I'm using a stock size jet, and this scooter is stock, so why doesn't it work? It's because I'm in Salt Lake City and the elevation here is 4,500 feet above sea level. At low elevation, there are more air molecules, so you can also put more gas in the engine. Pusheen is having a great time, but when she gets to the top of the mountain, she'll need a smaller main jet because there's less air up there. Let's take another look at the chart. A scooter will actually need a smaller jet than stock at high elevation. I should try a size 72 main jet, and I'll just swap those jets. Okay, let's see what happens with the size 72 jet. It revs up, but wait a minute, why doesn't it keep going? That's weird. It wants to rev up, but then slows down. When you get closer to the right air-to-fuel ratio, it gets harder to tell if it's too rich or too lean. The quick way to find out is add a bunch of air by removing the air cleaner. This time I'm going to full throttle with no air cleaner. I'm temporarily leaning out the mixture. Wow, it's really revving up now. Removing the airbox made a huge difference. Back to the chart. The engine didn't do well with the 72 main jet until I added some air by taking off the air filter. This means it was still too rich. I can go back in and get a smaller jet again, but the 50cc scooters are already dangerously slow, and less fuel means less power. I really like how it ran without the stock air box. I'm going back to partsforscooters.com and picking up a foam air filter. The inner diameter of the filter should be 38 millimeters. Now let's open up that shitty air box. It has a restrictive paper filter and 2 bolts holding it on. One of the brackets is broken. I'll rip that rubber intake hose out. I'm pulling the crankcase vent hose off the valve cover. I'm saving this hose and the screws. The rest can go in the trash. Okay, now the foam filter goes on the scooter. The scooter will become much louder with the foam filter, but on the road, louder is safer. The crankcase vent hose can go into the foam filter. This just burns off vapors from your valve cover so they don't go into the atmosphere. It's time to see how this scooter does on the road. Alright, I'm taking off full throttle with the 72 main jet, and the engine just slows down and almost dies. I thought I had the right main jet, but then I added a lot of air by installing the foam filter. Now I'll need more fuel to get back to the right ratio. Here's the scooter with the 75 main jet, also barely moving at full throttle. I'll keep moving up in jet size. Let's check out the 80. That's much better. The scooter just takes off, but then again it's still very slow. I'm only hitting 15 miles per hour here on my street. Another jet swap and I'm up to 85. This time it rides great with no big problems. I found a nice stretch of road with a high enough speed limit to do a top speed run. The road must be long enough to get up to top speed and it should be flat or just slightly uphill. A downhill road doesn't put enough load on the engine to get a proper test of the main jet. A steep hill would also throw off the test. And it looks like I hit about 39 miles per hour just now. I'll mark that on the speedometer and go change the jet. Now I'm back out with the size 90 jet on exactly the same stretch of road at full throttle. And it's looking like that's just a bit faster than before. I tried 4 different jets and marked their top speeds. I started at 85, moved all the way up to 95, then back down to double check all the jets. And the final results. 85 was good but hesitated just a little and got up to 39 miles per hour. Size 90 was the fastest jet, then when I kept going up the scooter was slower. What that means is the engine has the most power at full throttle with a size 90 jet. What that also means is the size 90 jet is the closest to the ideal air to fuel ratio. It's interesting that this chart is very different from before with the stock air filter. Installing the foam filter allowed me to move up 4 main jet sizes. More fuel means more power, so this proves that an air filter is a very good performance upgrade if you also tune the carburetor properly. I used the symptoms to identify whether to go up or down in jet size. The scooter wouldn't move with the 72 and 75 jets and had hesitation with the 80 and 85. It also slowed down with the 92 and 95 jets. This allows me to place the jets in their exact positions on the air to fuel ratio chart. And that's it. This scooter has the best main jet for its current configuration. During the tuning process, I've taken this carburetor out about 10 times. It's one of the reasons I love the foam filter. It just makes it so easy. Boom, and that's all it takes. The carburetor is out. Next, I'll need to find the right pilot jet. This can be a little tricky because the pilot jet only works up to a quarter throttle. So I'm just going to try a couple different jets and see what happens. I'll start by riding my scooter with the size 30 pilot jet and 90 main jet. The main jet is perfect, so I don't need to worry about it throwing off the air to fuel ratio at all. The scooter runs really well, has no problems idling, but the acceleration is slow. Then again, it's a 50cc scooter. It does seem to hesitate a little bit around 15 miles per hour. Now I'm trying the 32 pilot jet, and right away it seems to be a tiny bit faster. The little hesitation I felt at 15 miles an hour seems to be gone, but then again, maybe I'm just imagining things. The sound seems to be a little bit more dull just above idle. Does that mean it's too rich? I decided to leave the 32 pilot jet in and rode the scooter to work. During my commute, a whole list of problems popped up that I didn't have before. The idle was uneven and it died at a stoplight. I had to kick it over several times because it didn't want to start back up right away. Later that day, I had a lot of problems starting the engine and it smelled like gas. The engine seemed to bog down a lot just off idle before it was warmed up. I switched back to the 30 pilot jet and took the scooter to work again. Starting was good and it had no problems idling. Here's a little comparison of the 2 pilot jets. The size 30 jet revs pretty nicely just above idle. The 32 makes kind of a dull sound, has a delay when I twist the throttle, and doesn't idle as well. Obviously, the size 30 pilot jet is the right one for my scooter. But the confusing question is, why did the foam filter require a bigger main jet while the pilot jet was not affected? Here's the explanation. Say, for example, the engine is capable of moving 5 cubic feet per minute of air at full throttle. Now let's say the stock air box is really bad and can only do 3 cubic feet per minute. I have to install a smaller main jet because there's less air at full throttle and I need less gas. When I upgrade the filter to allow 5 CFM through, I can install a bigger jet. When the throttle is a quarter of the way open, the engine is only sucking in 1 CFM. The air filter has no problem letting that amount of air through, so it's not restricting it at all. Changing the filter won't have any effect on which pilot jet I should use. Changing the muffler would also have no effect at quarter throttle. The only thing that affects the pilot jet is elevation or changing the piston size. I'm going to throw another chart at you here. We already know the idle works when the throttle is closed, the pilot jet takes over up to quarter throttle, and the main jet does the rest. Now let's add air to fuel ratio to the chart. We want that ratio to be right in the middle where you get the most power. Changing the main jet will raise or lower the amount of fuel on the right side of the chart. Testing the main jet is done at full throttle, so it's easy to start with that one because the idle and pilot jet don't affect it at all here. The pilot jet and idle are close together, so changing that jet also affects the idle mixture. Too much gas from the pilot jet will also make the idle have too much gas. The idle mixture screw will adjust the air to fuel ratio at idle. Turning it clockwise closes off the fuel and counterclockwise adds fuel. The idle speed screw changes the position of closed throttle. If it's too high, you'll skip the idle circuit entirely and have the engine idling through the pilot jet. Now let's talk about the idle enricher. This is the electronic part of the carburetor. This little solenoid gets power when the engine is running and slowly closes off a port that lets in extra gas. During the first 5 minutes, the idle is more rich to compensate for cold fuel not evaporating as well. Idle adjustment can only be done after the idle enricher is done with its cycle. Start by turning the idle mixture screw all the way clockwise until it stops. Then back the screw out 1 turn. Loosen the idle speed screw until it doesn't touch the throttle cam. Then find the point where it contacts and give it 2 full turns clockwise. These idle settings should be good enough to keep the engine running. Ride the scooter for 5 minutes to let the engine warm up. Turn the idle speed screw counterclockwise to slow down the engine. Find the slowest idle that is stable. Adjust the idle mixture screw 1/4 turn at a time. Find the point where you get the fastest, smoothest idle. If it gets worse, turn the screw the other direction. Lower the idle speed again, and this time go 1/8 of a turn at a time to find the best idle. The engine takes a couple seconds to respond to changes, so go slow. See how low my engine will idle? This is only possible with a perfect idle mixture. Once you can achieve a good low idle without the engine dying, bring it back up to about 2000 RPM. The idle should be high enough that the engine never dies at stoplights, but low enough that the wheel doesn't turn. You might still need to readjust the idle speed after a couple rides, and that's why most scooters have this cover. Leave a screwdriver in the scooter just in case. So far I've selected a main jet that gives me the highest top speed, a pilot jet that doesn't give me any problems, and I've set the idle. The next adjustment is setting the needle height. The needle affects what the scooter does at mid RPM range, or about 15 miles per hour. When you remove the top of the carburetor, you'll find a spring and a black thing called the throttle slide. It controls air and fuel when you're using the main jet. The long metal thing is the needle. It has a removable clip on top. Make sure the diaphragm edges are seated into the groove when reinstalling it. If part of it is not seated, the throttle slide won't move up and your scooter will only go 15 miles per hour. As you open the throttle, the slide moves up and so does the needle. The needle starts off by blocking the fuel going through the main jet and lets more fuel through as it moves up. The throttle slide has 2 holes in the bottom of it. As air flows past, it sucks air out of the diaphragm on top and creates a vacuum that pulls the slide up. This slide moves based on engine RPM, not throttle position. When you twist the throttle all the way, you're not actually at full throttle until the engine has a chance to speed up. The clip can be installed in different positions to adjust the height of the needle. The needle controls your air to fuel ratio at mid throttle. If you put the clip low, the needle will be high and there's more gas. If you raise the clip, the needle is lower and you get less gas. This is a fine adjustment and you'll have to try different settings and ride the scooter to find the best one. It's okay to skip this. The stock setting is usually fine. I mentioned earlier that my scooter had a slight hesitation at 15 miles per hour. So I moved the clip down and the needle up, which gave me just a little bit more gas and got rid of that hesitation. Now there's one more piece I want to show you on this carburetor. The accelerator pump is located on the outside of the carburetor and is activated by a cam and a spring as you twist the throttle. It sprays a little bit of extra gas in the intake. A perfect air to fuel ratio is great, but the engine needs to go a little bit rich in order to speed up. As you twist the throttle, the accelerator pump adds some gas to help. This part is not adjustable, but you could bend the spring to make it spray at a different time if you needed to. That's it. Those are all the adjustments on the CVK carburetor. But before you go, let me tell you a story. There I was on a brisk 40-degree morning riding my scooter to work. Everything was great, and it turned out to be a really nice day. Got up to 65 degrees. When I went to ride my scooter home, it idled just fine, but when I twisted the throttle, it just died. I couldn't ride home. So I was thinking, what's going on? Am I a hack? I thought I tuned it right. Turns out, Temperature has a huge effect on which main jet you should use. I originally tuned the scooter at 35 degrees. The size 90 main jet gave me the highest top speed. When the weather warmed up, I tuned the carburetor again. This time the size 80 main jet was the fastest one. It is important that you tune your carburetor at the same temperature as when you will ride the scooter. A winter tune isn't going to help you in the summer. I just threw a lot of information at you, so let's do a quick summary. Tune the main jet first. Find the one that gives you the highest top speed. Warm weather and high elevation need a smaller jet. Sea level, cold weather, and performance upgrades usually mean you need to go up in jet size. Start with the stock size 32 pilot jet and go down if you're at high elevation. Use the jet that doesn't cause starting problems or hesitation. Adjust your idle to get the lowest possible idle speed. At low RPMs, only a perfect mixture will allow the engine to run. Then bring it back up to 2000 RPM. The needle adjusts fuel mid-throttle. If your scooter runs well, leave it alone. If you have a hesitation at 15 miles per hour, try adjusting the needle height. That's it. Thank you for watching. If you have any helpful tips or things that you learned while tuning your carburetor, feel free to share them in the comments section below. If you liked this video, share it and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more mechanic videos, and I'll see you guys next time.